I'm Yadi Rivan.
Please speak up.
Anita.
Yadi Rivan.
Alright, so this is group 2. Please, I'm going to need everyone to focus on me and my team. There's a lot to talk about. So earlier this month, we had to do research on mood boards and bridals. First of all, that that project made us understand why we are even doing this in the first place. It made us know what colors we could use for a traditional white wedding as well as a Nigerian wedding. So we played around with a few of those colors. Then we did a project on mood boards, and we understood that mood boards can either be physical or digital, and it's basically just a collection of things, pictures, fabrics, little bits and bobs are the things that would form your mood board to give you inspiration on how to create an image for your bride, or create a picture in your bride's mind as to what she's going to wear, how she's going to look, the kind of vibe she's going to get from her wedding. But in this group, we are the group that you heard fought, but not physically. We went at it because we're all different people. We're human beings. We're very creative people. But we couldn't decide on what we wanted to go for. There are 2 guys in our group and 2 girls in our group. We felt it was going to be very inclusive to have a guy and a girl. It wouldn't be enough to just come here and show a beautiful bridal gown and not reflect the men in our group. So I'm going to start from this side of our mood board. We have our group, very handsome young man. We built a suit for him. It's an expensive designer, by the way, please don't pay. We also built a bow tie for him, thanks to the men, and they handled that. We built the entire, plus the custom-made shoes and all of that. The suit was made from black satin fabric, the shirt, white satin fabric, the bow tie, black satin, as well as a bit of thread in the middle. The buttons are very expensive. They're designer diamond buttons. And the trousers are made from black satin as well. We have explained what a bow tie is on this side, as well as a single-breasted suit as he is wearing. Down here we have our flower girl, who is wearing one of the trend colors for 2020 summer. It's like a nice rose gold peachy color. And down here we have our cake. So our colors were mostly inspired by the kind of flowers we're going to use. That's another thing we learned from our research. The entire wedding can be inspired by so many things, but particularly the dress is inspired by so many factors such as body shape, which we went for, but it can also be inspired by tradition, values, religious beliefs, and all the other kind of things. So now let's talk about our bride's dress. It's a very elegantly created dress to enhance her body shape. When we saw the picture, we just knew it was going to be her. She was going to bring out a mermaid dress perfectly, and that is what we created. I personally made this bottom half of the dress, as well as this bit. So here we have lace, popularly known as sugar lace in Nigeria, but it's actually like a baroque lace. It's sequined. So here the outfit explanation is sequin lace and satin mermaid dress with rice beaded corset bridal gown. Our assignment was to use rice beads, and that's what we went for. But here we use silver rice beads in particular, and we detailed the corset bit of her dress with rice bead and lace on this side. And then down we have satin underneath the lace to encapsulate her amazing body. And down here we also have satin, but it's not as flashy as the satin under here. It's 2 different types of satin for a beautiful contrast. Down here we decorated our dress with some of the lace outlines as well as rice beads all the way through the mermaid. It's a beautiful dress. Underneath we have hard net and a bit of crinoline for support and structure, which you would use for a real life bride. Now, on this side of our mood board, by the way, it's in 3 parts. Here we have our inspiration. This was mostly the inspiration. We knew we wanted lace, but we didn't want traditional lace. We wanted something to bring out her body and, just the vibe that she was going to encapsulate on that day. So we have a bride and groom here. We wanted something that would bring out her body as well as just make her look elegant. So we have inspiration for flowers, but we decided that pink was going to go beautifully on her skin. As you can see, she has a bit of pink highlights on her body. Now we have a little flower girl who's also wearing yellow from the trend of this year. It's in for summer. Why we made her headgear like this is because we were particularly wowed by some of the brides we saw in the magazines who had outrageous headgear. I mean, it was unbelievable. I'm sure you've never seen a fascinator that's also a veil. Thank you. You learned it here. So here she's also wearing a lace dress. So as you can see, we were going for the lace vibe with a shocking headgear as well as just beautiful flowers. Down here are her bridesmaids. We haven't made a bridesmaid here, but these are the colors you can go for different types of skin tones. I mean, if you have a dark girl like most of us here, certain colors like blue or yellows or purples look amazing on our skin tone. But if you also have a white girl on your train, these colors will look perfect. Now, for the different bride and groom who want to stand out and look phenomenal, we have an option here of a white suit for both parties with black elements, like a black high neck top or whatever it is. Here the groom is even holding the bouquet, so there's nothing weird about that. Down here we've put a bit of inspiration for the legal wedding. So we know that in this part of the world and abroad, you can have 3 different types of weddings, but we're highlighting the ones where you have to wear white. So here you can have like a nice formal dress or a skirt or a blouse and white shoes head to toe. Here you can go all white or all black if you desire. On this side of our mood board, we have all of the fabrics used because your mood board has to highlight every single thing we have incorporated into it. Up here, you have a different kind of lace. We didn't want you to think if you don't have sugar lace, you cannot do mood board, you cannot do wedding dress. No, this is a different kind of lace. It's a little cheaper, but it's equally just as beautiful. I'm sorry, everyone, that's his lace. Over here, we have taffeta, which I personally use for my own bridal, and it can be used for this any day, and a bit of it is underneath for support. Organza. Now, organza is a very unique fabric. It is beautiful. It's shiny, but it's very light. It creates some of the most beautiful effect on bridal. Sorry, guys. Satin, white satin, which we used underneath here for a bit of gloss and beauty. Here we have the hard net that we've used underneath here, and the black silk, of course, for his entire ensemble. Down here we have her shoes, shoe 1 and option shoe 2 as well, and we beaded the rest of it. Hope this helps.
Wow. Nice. Amazing.